Hi everyone! So today we'll be doing 30 minutes of Pilates mat work for my ladies at the dance studio. This is week 3 of your virtual Pilates class. I'm up on a bluff off the Wisconsin River today. Might be a little bit windy, but I will try to speak loud enough that you can hear me. So let's start lying down. We'll start how we usually do, just warming up a little bit on your back. Arms long by your sides. Have your feet parallel, just a small space between those feet. And have them relatively close to your sits bones. You don't want too far of a space between the heels and your butt. Okay, go ahead, lie down. Make sure the back of your neck is nice and long. We're going to start by taking a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, I want you to feel yourself sinking your tailbone down into the mat. You have this small puff of air underneath your low back to start here. Feet are nice and grounded. Take another inhale through your nose. And as you exhale out of your mouth, I want you to curl forward, reaching long with those hands, sliding them across the mat. And then go ahead, articulate back down, head sinks down. And again, exhale, curl forward, tuck the pelvis under, reach long through those hands. Inhale as you release. One more time, exhale, curl, reach long, and inhale, release. All right, adding on, arms are going to reach up to the ceiling or the sky. Curling forward, tucking the pelvis, reaching through those hands, and hold here. Arms are going to float up, arms reach back out, arms float up, arms reach back out. I'm still tucking my pelvis, shoulders are staying lifted off the mat, and release on this one. Head comes down as the arms lift up. One more like that. Inhale, exhale, curl forward, tuck the pelvis under. Inhale as the arms float up, navel to spine still. Exhale, reach long, tuck deeper. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Last time here. Exhale, reach. Inhale as you release the head down. Good. All right, we're going to take those knees up into chair position here, and hands are going to come behind your head. Small space between those legs and point your toes. So we're going to lift, use those arms for support in the head, and we're going to tap our toes down towards the mat. I'm tucking the pelvis under here, and I'm trying to stay tucked as deep as I can as those legs float away, and lift back up. Big abs here. Lower down, lift it up. We're going for 3 and 2. You don't have to go all the way down to the mat if you can't. Last one here. Okay, moving the opposite direction. So now the legs are going to lift up towards the ceiling and towards me slightly as I tuck under with the pelvis and lower into neutral. Tuck under with the pelvis, lower into neutral for 2. Last one here. Rest the head for a moment. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the 2 movements together now. So lifting the head again, support the head and neck with those hands. Elbows nice and wide so that those shoulders stay down. Okay, so I'm tucking the pelvis slightly, trying to stay neutral or just a little bit tucked under. You don't want to arch the spine here, okay? Letting the toes come down. Bringing yourself back into that chair position, tucking under, back to neutral. Tap, center, tuck under, back to neutral for 3. And tuck. And 2. And tuck. Last time. And tuck. Give those knees a little hug here. Okay, going into some oblique work now. We're going to progress here. So we'll start with the feet down, and we'll keep adding on. We'll do 3 different versions. If at any point the version is hard enough for you, just continue to do that movement. You don't have to do every single addition for every single exercise. Listen to your body. Okay, so we're going to start neutral in the pelvis. So hip bones facing straight up. You should feel nice and flat here. small puff of air under the low back, and we're going to try to stay neutral throughout this entire exercise. So we're going to start left hand behind the head, curling forward, right arm up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside like I am. Okay, so staying neutral, and abs are nice and tight. Coming across, curling forward deeper, bringing those shoulder blades back down to the mat, but keeping the head and chest lifted. We're going for 4, and 3, and 2. Keep breathing. Last 1. Switching sides, let's keep that head lifted. Pelvis is still neutral. Small puff of air. Across. Across. Exhale, reach. Inhale, release. Last 2. And last 1 here. Relax the head. Okay, now legs are going to come up into chair position, and if you can, bring them all the way together. Okay, so the first the first way that we did this, we kept our pelvis neutral, Now we're going to add on a pelvic tilt and releasing back into neutral. So we're going to move the pelvis every single rep. So let's start with that left hand behind the head again, right arm up towards the ceiling, legs glued together so you feel yourself squeezing the inner thighs on the pelvic floor. Same concept here, curling forward, reach across, tuck under this time, release into neutral, arm up. For 4, keep breathing, and 3, last 2, and 1. Let's keep pushing right off to the other side here. Tuck and reach, tuck and reach. For 3, and 2, last 1. Release the head, rest the feet for a moment. All right, our last version here. Legs are going to go up towards the sky or ceiling. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, you can have a little bend in them. Otherwise, try to get them nice and straight. Same position, starting with the left hand behind the head. Now, instead of coming across the thigh, we're going to come up and over, so towards the pinky toe. Keep that head lifted, reach. We're going to keep tucked every time. So my low back is flat into the mat this entire time. Reach, keep tucking, reach, keep tucking. For 3, and breathe. Last 1, right off to the other side. I'm still tucking the pelvis. Reach across and up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees, rest down. All right, place your feet down on the mat. Open your arms, sway those knees off to one side. Go ahead and switch, reaching through those knees. I don't know if you can hear the geese on the river. Bring those knees back to the center. All right. So our abs should be nice and warm now. We're going to go into some bridge here. Bring those arms down by your sides on the mat. Reach long through those fingers. So those shoulders are staying away from the ears. And then just drop the shoulders open so the chest is relaxed and as wide as you can get it. Okay? Keep your foot planted. Don't lift your toes or your heels here. Stay nice and planted. We're going to tuck the pelvis, lift those hips up, start squeezing the glutes here to bring yourself up into that high bridge. Pull the belly in, squeeze the glutes, articulate all the way back down into neutral. 4 more. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lengthen through those knees, and then roll it down and release. For 3, tuck. Exhale, lift. Squeeze those glutes, hips pushing up, belly in. Roll it down. Last 2, tuck. Roll it up. Squeeze those glutes. Articulate down. Last time here. Reach through those hands, open those shoulders, roll it down, and release. Okay, let's extend our left leg nice and long here. We're going to flex that foot and extend the right leg up to the ceiling. Go ahead, take your hands behind like the thigh or the calf, and just give that hamstring a little bit of a pull towards you, stretching it out. Breathing into it here. And then add a little flex and point. And flex and point. Last two. And last one here. All right, arms are gonna come down by our sides. We're gonna point as we lower the leg down. Keep the abs engaged, don't arch the back. And we're gonna flex, press it up. Point the foot, lower it down, belly engaged, flex, press through the heel as you lift. For two, don't lift so high that you tuck the pelvis. Stay neutral. Last one here. Bend the knee, rest it down and extend. Other side, so bring that leg up, grab behind the thigh or the calf, give it a nice little pull. Breathe into it here. And then add on, flexing the foot and point. And flex and point. We're going for two. Last one here. All right, keep the foot pointed. Make sure that that right leg's coming right out of the hip. Flex that foot, arms down by your sides. Pointing the leg away. Belly scooping in. Small puff of air under the back. Flex, press it up. For three. Flex, press it up. And two. Don't lift so high that you sink the back into the mat. Keep that small puff of air. Last one here. Bend and release. All right, we're going to go into our roll up, everyone's favorite. Arms are going to go up towards the ceiling. You can have a little internal rotation so the palms are facing in if that's more comfortable. Otherwise, palms facing away is fine. Flex those feet for me. Curl your chin to your chest. Roll it all the way up. Keep flexing those feet. Round the spine, reach long through those arms. So my rib cage is reaching back. I'm stretching out the spine. And then roll it down. Dropping the shoulders, sinking back in the low belly. Tap that low back first. Roll it all the way down. Again, inhale. Curling up. Exhale, reach. Lengthen. Maybe add a little pressure on the back of the head if your back is tight. Flex those feet a little bit deeper for me. Shoulders dropping, roll it down. Try not to plop. We're going for two. Reach. And roll. Dropping the shoulders, sinking down. Last one, we're going to end. Lift it on this one. Hold here. Take those hands to your feet if you can, or ankles, calf area is fine. Now, I want you not to collapse over the legs, but you're going to pull on those legs and pull the back away. See how I'm pulling and pushing at the same time? Pushing in with my feet, pulling with my hands, and I'm rounding my spine. Shoulders are actually shrugging up to my ears a little bit here, and my head is relaxed. Big stretch. Release. And stack it up. Okay, we're going to do a quick butterfly stretch before we go into some hip work. So start nice and tall, shoulders down, soles of the feet pushing together, and then let those knees drop open. You can add some small pressure if you'd like. The closer your heels are to your pubic bone, the bigger of an opening in the hips you're going to get. And now round over. Soles of the feet still together. Now you can really add some pressure with those elbows. Shoulders down. Try not to build tension anywhere else in the body. Stack it up. Okay, so we are going to come seated. And I have this little zigzag with my knees. So both of my knees are facing off into the same direction. Okay, my knees are off to my left, if you can't tell that. So we're going to side bend to the left since my knees are pointed to the left. Left hand's going to come down. It's in line with that left hip. And make sure you have enough room so that you can put your entire forearm down on the mat. Okay, right arm's going to come out to the side. You want this hip to kind of be sinking back as much as you can. If you have tight hips, rolling it forward is okay, but the goal is to kind of bring it back and around, okay? So let's bring this arm up and over as we drop the elbow to the mat and reach. My chest is staying open and my ribs are reaching up towards the ceiling or the sky. Okay, so you're not collapsing. Stack it up, counter stretch. Just letting this arm rest on the knee or the shin and bringing the left arm up and over. Stack it up. Same thing again, hand in line with the hip. Bend the elbow, reach up and over. Push into that elbow that's on the mat so you can get this big side stretch happening. Bring it up, counter stretch. We have one more here. Up and over. Head is relaxed. Bring it up and counter stretch. Okay, so we're gonna go into some hip work here, really isolating the glute and the outer hip muscles. So let's bring this elbow across your mat. So now your fingertips are facing forward, okay? And the right hand's gonna come onto the hip. So you're lifting on this side of the body. You're not collapsing, and you're trying to keep the trunk the same as you lift the leg, right? So I'm not dipping my my torso and stuff down towards the mat as the leg lifts. Stay nice and strong in the rest of the body. Float this right leg up, tap it down. Float it up, tap it down. 3, 2, pressing it up. Last one. Now we're gonna lift and hold here. Femur's gonna rotate so the knee comes down to the mat. Rotate it back up and back up. For 3, 2, last one. Good. Now we're pushing the leg back. Keep the bend in the knee. We're pressing the leg back. Squeeze the glute. Push through that foot. Bring it back. Press. Bring it back. For 3, 2. Hold this last one back. So you're pushing still as far as you can. Little pulses up towards the sky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. So we're going to go into a nice challenging side plank with a twist here. So I want you to take the bottom leg and lengthen it out. You should have just a small bend in the knee. This top leg's going to come over and plant in front of the leg that's resting on the mat, okay? Same thing. The legs are lengthened kind of long. That way you have enough room. So we're going to bring this hand still in line with the hip and a good distance away. Right arm's going to come out to the side and palm is up. Okay, so this first one might be a little trial and error with the foot placement. So if you need to move the feet away while we go through this, that's totally fine. So let's start by pushing into the heel of the hand, coming up into a side plank. So now I'm balancing on my feet, my legs are extended. I'm going to push myself up, pike my hips up, and rotate. So I'm reaching underneath myself with that right arm. Bring it back into that side plank and hold. Side bend up and over. And then we're going to bring it all the way down, bending the knees, resting the hip. Big exercise. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Pike those hips up, reach under. Lengthen back into that side plank. Side bend. So I'm lifting my right ribs up to the sky. Hips release down as we bend. All right, we have the entire other side to do here. All right, so my knees are in that zigzag shape and I'm facing them off to the right now. So make sure you're trying to sink this hip back. On me, this hip is a little bit tighter than my other one, so my hip sits a little bit farther. So I might just move this leg back a tiny bit to try to keep my hips facing forward. So any little modification that you need so that you don't have any pain or pulling in that hip, you're welcome to do so. Goal is that the hips are facing forward, okay? Right hand is going to come to the mat. Make sure you have enough space between the hip and the hand to rest that forearm. Going into that side stretch. Elbow bends, up and over. Chest is staying open. Lift, counter stretch. Feels so good. And lift. Same thing again, in line with the hip with the hand. Up and over, relax the head. Reach those ribs up. Counter stretch. One more time here. Just keep breathing. Feeling your muscles release. And up. Okay, going into that hip work now. Bring your arm down so it's long across the mat. Fingertips are facing forward. Left hand on the hip. So remember, don't dip down with that torso. You're trying to keep it nice and strong as we isolate those hip muscles. Float the leg up, tap it down. Up, tap it down. For 3, 2, last one. Okay, lift. Now rotate that femur. Rotate. 3, 2, last one. Keep it lifted. We're pushing it back. Keep the bend in the knee. And forward slightly. Back. Squeeze the glute. Back. We have 2 more. Press it back and hold on this last one. Pulsing up. I'm pushing it behind me still. Pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Okay, going into that big side plank with the twist. So we're extending your bottom leg. Small bend in the knee. Bring that top leg over, plant it in front. And again, you want them lengthened out kind of far, so not too close to you here. Hand is in line with the hip, good distance away, so that you can lift up into that plank. Left arm out, palm is up. Push into the heel of the hand to start lifting up into that side plank. I have to scoot my legs away a little bit. Pike it up, rotate under. Bring it back into that side plank. Ooh, the wind's going. And side bend. Lowering it down as the knees bend. One more time. One side's going to be a little more challenging for you than the other. Okay? Back up again. Side plank. Twist. Lift those hips up. Reach underneath with that arm. Back into that side plank. Side bend. And release. Good. Okay, let's go into a little bit of a hip stretch here. I'm going to move myself back. So I'm going to bring my right foot forward. And I'm going to drop my hips. So my knee isn't going over my toes. And I'm dropping those hips forward. Should feel an opening in the leg that's behind you. You can also lift that foot. Give yourself a little more pressure on it. Bring it back. And I'll go to the side on this one so that you can see it. So left foot forward now. Hips dropping. Knee is not going over the toes. Hands down. Lift that leg if you need an extra little push. Having it down is fine too. Just make sure that your knee is in a position that's not causing you any sort of pain. So I'm actually balancing more on like my thigh or my quadricep up here, not right on the top of the knee. Bring it back and release. Okay, so we are going to come on our bellies. I'm going to face this way. So we're going to be in like a Y shape. So tops of my feet are pushing down. There's just a small space between my legs, but my arms are actually going to extend long and wide. So as wide as the mat and long overhead. Forehead is going to come down onto the mat. So keep your forehead down on the mat. You're going to lift your right arm up without moving anything in the body. And then left arm lifts and lower. 2 more sets, right and left. Last set here, right and left. Now the head and chest are going to come with you as you lift the arms and lower. 2 more. Lift and lower. Last time. Lift and lower. Okay, we're gonna bring ourselves into our swan position. So forearms and hands are planted, and we're gonna press ourselves up. Find a position that's comfortable for you, because we're gonna stay lifted here. Back of the neck is nice and long. You can open those legs a little bit wider here if you need to for that low back. Push into those elbows, stay lifted. We're gonna float the right leg up, and left, and right. Squeeze the glute, and left. You're working your low back here as well as those glutes, both legs, for 3, and 2, and 1. Good, lower the head down. Good, take an inhale here, start lifting the head and chest, shoulders down, exhale, come into that position. Pull the belly in, lift those legs, and flutter kick for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the legs, rest the head down. Let's push back into a child's pose here. Feels good on the back to round it. Okay, so we have been working on our planks quite a bit lately. We just did some side planks. We are going to do some regular planks here. Up on our hands, we're going to add some fun variations for you. So let's come onto all fours. Make sure you have enough room behind you that you can extend your legs and still stay on your mat. Hands under shoulders. Extend those legs out. Come into that beautiful plank position. Tuck that pelvis a little bit. Work those abs. We're going to take the right knee underneath. Extend it back out. And left. And right. And left. Drop to the knees. Caress it back. Oh, the wind's coming out. Okay, instead of bringing the knees straight underneath, we're going to bring them out to the sides now. So let's come back into that all four position. Extend those legs behind. Abs tight, shoulders down, right knee to right elbow. Extend. Left knee to left elbow. Extend. Let's do one more set here. To the right and left. Drop down and push back. And stack it up. All right, going into our cat-cow and bird dog here, just adding a little balance to it. So bring those knees under your pelvis. Have the same amount of space between the hands and the legs. Push away on the mat, round your spine, look in at your belly. And then release. Lift your head, shove those shoulders back so that your collarbone is nice and wide. And again, round. Exhale, release. Last time here, round. And exhale, release. Pull that belly in, flatten your back out. Right arm and left leg are going to extend nice and long and hold. Belly in, bring it under. Other side, extend. Bring it under. One more to each side. Extend and reach. Bring it in. Extend and reach. Bring it in. Tuck your toes under. We're going to press those hips up to the sky, pushing the chest towards your feet and dropping your heels. Let that head release. We're going to lift our heels, start rolling through the spine. Head is staying tucked in until you can't keep it tucked in anymore. Nice and long. Lift back up. Push those heels down. Chest to feet. Roll through that spine. Lift the heels. Last time here, up. Add some treading here, dropping one heel, bending the opposite knee. Roll through those feet. and switch, and switch. Last set here. Drop both heels. Let's start walking those hands back and articulate all the way up. All right, let's come lying down on our mat. Hug those knees in. I want you to control and roll it down. Keep your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg nice and long. Pull, then curl forward. Keep tucking that knee in. Point those toes and reach through that opposite leg now. Head down, both knees in. Hug that left knee, extend the right leg nice and long. Squeeze it in as tight as you can. Reach through that right leg, curl forward and pull deeper. Release down. Good. Taking that right knee, right ankle over your left knee and taking the left knee up into chair position, pulling it in. Extend that leg and bend. Extend and bend. One more time. Extend and hold. Small circles with the ankle for 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 3, 2, 1. Bend it down. And switch. Left ankle over right knee. Pull it in. Head down. Try to relax as much as possible here. You don't have to take the knee up into chair position if that's too intense for you. And then extend and bend. Extend and bend. Extend and keep it extended. Small circles. 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 3, 2, 1. Bend it in. Release those feet down. Extend your arms all the way overhead and extend your legs. Open those arms right above the floor, drawing a big circle all the way down to your sides, palms facing up. Release those shoulders, relax the arms. Let your legs externally rotate here. Take a breath together, inhaling through your nose. Exhaling out of your mouth, relaxing into your mat. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Letting your breath come into its natural rhythm here. You are finished for today. Take your time getting up off of your mat. Hopefully you feel nice and relaxed, energized, ready to take on the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.